Hi, everyone, and welcome to our October episode. Hope your Irish research is going well. We have a lot going on for the month of October. We're going to be talking to Janelle, who does the Instagram account for the IGSI. Well, she's going to be doing a topic for our webinar for the month of October on a subject that we don't always talk about, but whether our immigrants who came from Ireland to the U.S. or to Canada may have gone through Canada to get into the U.S. So a lot of times we don't look at that as a possibility. We always think about they came into New York or Boston or Philadelphia or Baltimore, and that may have been the case. And she's going to tell us some records that you can find, that Canadian records, that may help prove that your ancestor may have gone through Canada and not into the U.S. ports. So that's something to look forward to. And we also have a discussion as to what's going on for the month of November and December. And so with that, let's get right to it. And our Irish Saturday for the month of October will be held on October 11th. So stop on by the Hoffman Research Library, which is located at the Minnesota Genealogical Center in Mendota Heights, Minnesota. Now, do you have any Irish research questions? This is the time to get it answered. The Minnesota Genealogical Center is located at 1385 Mendota Heights Road, Suite 100. You can also stop by the library during regular business hours. And to find out more about the library and the hours of operation, go to the website at mngs.org. And our webinar for the month of October will feature Janelle Asselin. Her topic is called Irish Migrations to Canada, When and Why, and How to Research These Irish Ancestors. This presentation will be held on October 4th. It's an online-only presentation. The webinar begins at 10:30 a.m. and will last until noon Central Time. The fee is $15 for members with a discount code and $20 for non-members. Many Irish immigrants sailed to Canada, even those who later settled into the States. Canada was fully part of Great Britain until 1867, along with Ireland, so in many aspects, it was easier and cheaper for Irish to sail to Canada. Using Janelle's ancestors as a case study, she will discuss waves of immigration from Ireland, the push and pull to Canada, key destinations, and Irish settlements. Again, the webinar will be on October 4th. Now, recently I had a chance to speak to Janelle at the Milwaukee Irish Fest, and she was telling me about something that a lot of us really don't take into consideration when we think about our immigrant ancestors, whether they may have gone through some of the Canadian ports and not necessarily into the U.S. ports when they migrated into North America. So that's going to be her topic for the month of October in our webinar, which is going to be on October 4th. And here's part of the interview that I had with her.
So many Irish immigrants who cross the Atlantic Ocean to come to North America would either start or spend their entire lives in Canada because it was easier and cheaper than traveling to an entirely new country that was owned outside of Britain. As America started to tighten their immigration restrictions, especially during the famine and with how many Irish immigrants were coming over, it was still more open to come to Canada. There were waves though, so it wasn't a consistent immigration, and often what was happening in either Canada or in the US would influence which direction that these immigrants would go.
A lot of people kind of underestimate the records that are also available in Canada.
Yeah. So one of the greatest sources of records in Canada are religious records, and particularly if your family is Irish Catholic, the Catholic Church in Canada has a very robust system of religious records going back a really long time. The only danger is that some of those records may be in French, even though they're about your Irish ancestors. So be prepared for some interesting spellings and interpretations of Irish names. But there are a ton of records for the Catholic Church in Canada, which can be a great help in finding your Irish ancestors. But on top of that, the Canadian land records are really easy to access if you use the Family Search full text search. You can find a lot of information about how land was transferred back and forth. I've also had good luck in reaching out to the Library and Archives Canada for help with specific types of records, and they helped me a great deal with locating certain records. Like in 1818, my 3 times great-grandfather indicated interest with a gentleman who was trying to build Irish settlements in Canada, that he would be interested in having land from the Canadian government. So there's records like that that help figure out where your ancestors settled and then what their lives were like.
And again, that webinar will be on October the 4th, so you can register right now at the website at irishgenealogical.org.
In this episode of the Irish History Minute, we will look at 19th century burials. In the early 19th century, most burials still took place in churchyards. Most burials were overcrowded, unsanitary, and legally controlled by the Church of Ireland. Catholics and other non-Anglican denominations were often denied a dignified burial or had to pay exorbitant fees. After Catholic emancipation in 1829, Catholic cemeteries expanded. Large purpose-built cemeteries opened in the 19th century, such as Glasnevin Cemetery in Dublin. At this time, poor people were sometimes buried in a shroud or simple coffin. Wealthier families could afford carved coffins and headstones. Many 19th century graves were unmarked, especially for poorer families. Those who could afford it commissioned carved headstones with crosses, Celtic motifs, or simple inscriptions. Grave markers often included names, ages, and directed by inscriptions. During the Great Famine, normal burial customs often broke down. Mass graves, shallow burials, and unmarked sites were tragically common. As a rule of thumb in the 19th century, Catholic parishes did not keep burial registers. All other denominations in Ireland maintained burial registers, and these records can provide excellent information today. A grim reality of the 19th century was the threat of resurrectionists or body snatchers who sold corpses to medical schools for dissection. To combat this, new cemeteries were built with high walls, locked gates, and in some cases even watchtowers and mort safes, iron cages placed over a grave to protect newly buried bodies. Thanks for listening. See you next time at the Irish Genealogical Society Instagram page.
And that's how we're going to wrap things up for this episode. Thanks to Janelle for providing us with a little insight on what her October webinar is going to be all about. Kind of an interesting one, so something you might want to register. Registration is now open for that one as well. And maybe your ancestors came through Canada, not necessarily through the U.S. port, so she'll be talking about that. And thanks to Una for a great Irish History Minute. I've always wondered about some of the graveyards as I've walked through them in Ireland as well. And don't forget, this is also festival season for the end of the month, and we're going to be talking next month about the Bram Stoker Festival. I'll be there for that one in Dublin, and we'll give you some details on all that coming up as we head into next month. So have yourself a great month. Are you a member of the IGSI? You're not, but you'd like to be? Here's all you have to do. Head to the website at irishgenealogical.org. There you'll find the join link on the left side of the page, and that's where you can sign up and become a member. You can also register for any of the webinars this year on the website as well, and as a member you can also see past webinars from the previous year. And besides enjoying all the members' benefits, you can always sign in and go over many of the programs and services that the IGSI has to offer, and that would include viewing past webinars, surname interests, the e-newsletter. Would you like to be a volunteer at the IGSI? Here's all you have to do. Get on the website at irishgenealogical.org and scroll down to the volunteer link. There you can see all the options that are available to you. That would include helping out with the Irish Fest in Minnesota, or any of the social and educational programs, or you could even help out with the social media platforms and podcasts, or the SEPS magazine and genealogist newsletter. Just click on the Volunteer Now link and sign up. For more information about the Irish Genealogical Society International, go to the website at irishgenealogical.org. And for more information on the podcast, contact podcast@irishgenealogical.org.